Guys, welcome to Black Scout Survival. During the global war on terrorism, IEDs were something that were a constant threat, something we expected in combat. But now we have Americans getting blown up by cartel bombs on our own soil. And the government is still acting like the border crisis is just a political talking point. You see the news headline here about a Texas rancher killed by an IED on the Mexican border. Authorities warn it's a growing threat. Antonio Saldierna, a Texas rancher, was just killed by an IED. Yes, an improvised explosive device right near the U.S.-Mexico border. His son, a U.S. Army veteran, survived IED attacks overseas only to lose his father to one right here at home. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Let me show you a map of the areas now controlled by the cartel. Now, these are near the U.S. border, and you can even see some in deep parts of America. The media isn't saying outright, but let me make it clear that this was a terrorist attack. The cartels have evolved beyond drug runners with AKs. They're using battlefield tactics now. They have IEDs, military-grade weapons, drones. We just talked about that report a few weeks ago about them using drones on Border Patrol agents. They're even finding the agents with Bluetooth software, hunting software, from their body cams. Hence, they had to remove the body cams. And you look at our own government, they're kind of standing down, not Trump per se, but the Democrats are trying to push a lot of this aside, right? Now, the Texas Agricultural Commissioner, Sid Miller, is warning ranchers to stay off dirt roads, avoid remote areas, and watch out for explosives. I want you to think about that. This isn't some third world war zone. This is Texas. And Americans are now being advised to act like they're in an active combat zone. Trump's doing everything he can about designating them as
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign, and Mexico probably doesn't want that.
President Trump, if cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
So Trump's obviously pushing for it. He wanted to do it years ago to designate them as foreign terrorist organizations. But obviously the same corrupt politicians got in the way, the corrupt intelligence agencies, and the media, who would rather keep the border wide open. Why? Because chaos is their currency for more destabilization, the more power they can grab. I got a video here of Pete Hegseth talking about making them using drones and invading essentially Mexico. Check it out.
So, they're watching all this. What's your message to them?
Oh, my message has been from the beginning, we're taking nothing off the table. Nothing. We will do whatever it takes to secure the American homeland, to maintain our sovereignty, and protect the American people.
Does that mean you're ruling out potential strikes inside of Mexico on fentanyl labs that we know they exist, and we know where they exist?
No, I don't think I ruled anything out. Anything's on the table. The commander-in-chief, ultimately, with my consultation and with the chairman and others, will make those determinations, but nothing's off the table. Our sovereignty will be defended.
Now, our intelligence agencies have been corrupted. I talked about that last night. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Nicolas Maduro, the dictator of Venezuela, 5 days ago said that Joe Biden hired and essentially paid for, that he made a deal to get Trinde Arawa to come to the U.S. to help destabilize. And you think this is all a coincidence? Think again. We've already seen the intelligence agencies covering up treasonous activities. the Epstein list we were talking about last night, JFK. What makes you think they're not involved in letting this invasion happen? Of course, they made it happen because they want to destabilize America. It's part of the process on how they can destroy and remove our freedoms. They use it for, oh man, for safety and security. And this is not just a border issue. This is an act of war against the American people. And it's time we start treating it like one, because that's what it is. They will target Americans. They've been targeting Americans for the past few years under Biden. They were going to apartment complexes. They're kidnapping, ransom, trafficking, you name it. They've done all of this. And again, I'm going to show you the map, because to me, this is insane. And you have the media, the liberal media, saying this is about racism. This is, unfair. I heard, what's the guy who made the Michael Moore say, oh, you're probably deporting the next person that can prevent the next asteroid or cure cancer. These guys are criminals. And when Trump said that during his first term, they called him a racist. But if you look at this map, I mean, this is deep into within the country, man. Even within my own state, you should see here. I mean, it's crazy. They've got deep into the United States, major cities, port cities. How do you think they're getting the drugs in here? Moving drugs, moving people. And that's how it is. I want to know your thoughts on it. And I think the biggest takeaway is happening within the country. And I believe the more Tom Hoffman, the more Trump, Pete Hegseth, these guys start targeting these criminals, these terrorists, they're going to start taking it out on American citizens. So you could see chaos within the streets. I just talked about 2 weeks ago how in New York, the Trinity Arawa has now split because one of the major leaders was arrested. And so now they're clashing. So it's doubled the violence. It's doubled the violence. All by design. We've talked about this, anarcho-tyranny. We had these terrorists attacking police officers, doing all this stuff. The media covered up the Aurora, Colorado apartments for a long time. They covered up about animals getting eaten. All that's BS. When there was proof from the freaking towns. And again, the people with two brain cells listen to this shit and they believe it. And they're the same ones that's out there protesting because they don't have a freaking job, getting in the way. you know. But the main thing is happening in America, especially if you're in Texas. Like my boy Heavy Duty Country gave me a shout out last night. I was wearing one of those shirts. Go check him out. He's a good guy. I've been friends with him for years. Great content. Good, real good dude. There's very few people in the world. He's down there in Texas. That's why I'm mentioning him. But the thing is there's been very few people in my time. I'm an OG in this game. You probably watch a lot of other YouTubers that's been in the game 2 or 3 years. I've been in the game going on 13 years. And, I've had highs, I've had lows, I've had times where, you're really big. I've had times where nobody cares to watch your stuff. Companies are trying to use and abuse you because that happens a lot, man. That's why I don't deal with too many people, to be honest. Back in the day I did, but a lot of companies will use and abuse you. You know what I mean? Because I'm a man. I'm a guy who shakes a hand, makes deals. I try to do good for other people. I'm not always looking for money and these sort of things. A lot of people are. They're money driven. So you'll think they're your friend, but they're only using you for money. Heavy Duty ain't one of those guys. We're just, have been friends and things like that. It's never asked for nothing. He's one of the few. I promise you, he's one of the few. Probably even people that you watch that I've dealt with over the years, a lot of them are just scumbags behind the scenes, truthfully. You know what I mean? I'm not going to name names because I don't throw dirt on other people. I got better things to do. But good dude. And, obviously if you get in this game, man, you got to be very careful because a lot of people want to use and abuse you. That's why it's better to stay independent, do your own thing, and don't have a master. You get what I'm saying? But again, being in America, you're especially in Texas, or you're in one of these areas that's cartel controlled, stay armed and stay ready. And never, and I mean never, trust the people who tell you there's nothing to worry about, because the war isn't coming, it's already here. And with that, remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.
2, 3. 4, 2.